Edward Sonshine's life began in the shadow of the Second World War.
I was born in a place called Bergen-Belsen, which was a displaced persons camp. It was a place for Jewish survivors to gather and start life over again. I was one of 2,000 babies born in Bergen-Belsen over a period of 2.5 years.
His family came to Canada looking to start life anew. And Edward's father found work in Toronto, though he spoke no English.
He found a Jewish builder who could understand him. He said, well, what do you do? And my dad said, well, what do you need? He said, well, I need a painter. So I'm a painter. So that was my dad.
The Holocaust survivor worked to ensure his sons had the best education possible. Eddie went to law school, started a family of his own, and soon became one of Toronto's top attorneys.
I was a senior partner at a very good law firm. I was making a great living, but I wanted to build something, and I wasn't going to do it staying at the law firm.
We had a beautiful home, we had 3 children, he was a big shot lawyer, but I knew he wasn't happy. And I said, you know what, you have to do what you have to do.
So I left, and it was a huge decision, a huge risk.
At a time where the real estate market was at an historic low, Ed Sonshine got into real estate.
I never lost sleep over it at all, because I know he was, so I didn't have to.
I liked real estate. I felt that it had gotten as bad as it could, and when things were bad, as long as you still had a great country and with population increase, real estate was going to have a place again. The big conundrum was how to structure it.
At first, things did not go well. If he was to stay in the game, Eddie needed a plan, a way to do things better.
And at that time, there was a structure called the Real Estate Investment Trust. It was prevalent in the US and in the UK. And Ed, who was a pioneer, looked at that model and said, why wouldn't it work in Canada?
I was trying to explain it to my dad, and he said, Eddie, I think I got it. People give you money. You don't have to give the money back. You invest that money in real estate, you pay them an income, and there's enough there for you to make a living from. I said, yeah, you pretty well got it. He said, if they want their money back, they sell it on the stock market. I said, that's right. He said, it's a good business.
The REIT model allowed people like us to effectively give our money to professional managers, and then we get a part of the rent every month, and it's really well managed.
Ed was able to recognize the opportunity, frame it in a way people could understand, communicate that effectively, and so was able to then raise the money and to build the business.
It was called RioCan, and the new company grew quickly, driven in no small part by the sheer force of Eddie Sonshine's personality.
Ed is razor sharp, but he's also charming and disarming.
He's probably the smartest guy in any room, but he combines that with this wonderful personality. He's very charismatic, he's very witty, and he makes people feel very comfortable around him.
Ed always has some kind of joke or some kind of quip. He'll stop like he's in the middle of a discussion or a meeting or something. He's got a great joke to tell. He's got this marvelous joie de vivre that's just infectious.
You were always using your A game with Ed, because inevitably, Ed would always figure out a way to ask the one little question that I didn't know the answer to. And that brings out the best in you.
He talks a lot. I mean, let's be honest, the man talks a lot, but he does it in such an affable, exciting, funny way that it's attractive.
We got to be $1 billion company in equity by the end of 1998, and that's when I knew it really worked.
I'm very proud of what RioCan has become, and I think this team has the ability to continue to grow that, and I think it really serves as a validation of the vision that Ed had to create this unbelievable platform, this unbelievable portfolio that is valued by not only our shareholders, but also our employees.
Ed is much more than just RioCan. His family, wonderful partner Fran, who is a remarkable human being on her own, and everything he's done in the community. Ed has supported so many different initiatives and has been a real leader with his time and his capital.
Philanthropy is not just writing a check, which is lovely. It's really nice. It's also rolling up your sleeves. And there's an old thing that we say, if we don't help ourselves, who's going to do it?
UJ Federation of Greater Toronto is focused on the biggest issues facing the Jewish people today. Ed and Fran have been part of basically everything along the way. They've been very, very generous with their time and their talent, and that's really been very special.
He and Fran are a power couple, and they are wonderful parents and wonderful grandparents. If you're at this stage in life and you've got exceptional relationships with your children, your spouse, your grandchildren, that is to me the greatest success.
Whenever we're together, it's a joy. It's a real joy.
He would tell anyone, you've got one reputation, do not let it go to waste. Treasure it, guard it, and make sure that you're always viewed as a stand-up individual who does the right thing.
The story of his parents and being survivors of the Holocaust and coming here really with nothing but their values and their determination and their fortitude, that's what builds a great society. And I think that what Ed has accomplished is something we should all be incredibly proud of.
Please welcome Edward Sonshine, inductee as companion to the Order of the Canadian Business Hall of Fame.